I am Kimberly Mills, Educational Outreach Coordinator and Studio Technician at Arrowmont School of Arts and Crafts. I recently graduated college with a printmaking degree in Michigan, and while doing so, I was a print shop tech there at Kendall College of Art and Design, which is where I graduated from, along with working in the museum sector doing creative programming and art instruction. So that was kind of my, introduction to working with K through 12 school-aged students along with creative programming. Oh, well, as a printmaker and just as an artist in general, Arrowmont has always had a great reputation for having really expansive programming, offering lots of different kinds of classes for a wide range of artists and makers. And once I saw this position available after having my printmaking and studio technician experience along with programming experience, I really love the idea of having the chance to be a part of the expansion of what's going on here on campus. And not to like speak down to the museum sector, but one reason why I wanted to become involved in Arrowmont and its expansion and the nature of creating an environment where everybody is welcomed. You don't have to be a member of a certain society or, guild in order to be accepted. Outreach programming to me has always been one of the most important and rewarding programs because you're bringing that experience to them. And I think that's when young people, especially students, tend to learn the most because they're in their environments that they're willing to learn and create and do something new and exciting. My sole kind of priority within that position is to kind of spearhead the new expansion of the ArtReach programming to take it on the road. ArtReach here on campus takes place every fall here for 3 weeks, and we serve Sevier County schools. So each week we have a number of schools come through for a full day of immersive arts and crafts instruction. And what we're doing with this new initiative is taking that same formula onto the road into, 6 states. So it'll be Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Southern Ohio. So we'll basically be finding creative venues who will help host our classes for a week of art instruction through a variety of local artists who are working and teaching within that county as well. So we're kind of bridging that gap between local craftsmen along with kind of the current creative incubators there in the area, and also involving school teachers and the students. Being a part of this has been rewarding in the sense that it makes you realize just how important and how many lives you can touch if you just make yourself accessible to as many young people as you can. And on the same token, we're doing the same thing with teaching artists as well. We're employing them and allowing them to become more immersed with the community that they already live by. So that's been really interesting, getting to talk to the artists too. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I taught like 15 years ago, but I haven't worked with any of the kids like recently. I'd love to do that. Like, perfect. And I think with the advance of technology and how fast everything is growing, I think making sure that we preserve and incubate the crafts that were once purely utilitarian and made for function, I think is worth preserving. So in including, the local craftspeople, along with modern, K through 12 students, along with the teachers, as people who are trying to foster those relationships, I think bringing those all together as one, especially locally to the students, I think is of utmost importance, because obviously not everybody can make it here to campus on a regular basis, if ever. So bringing it on the road to them is the most important part to make sure they have access to it. One reason why I'm a printmaker is it invites all kinds of different kinds of artists. because it's so expansive with both very high-tech and low-tech takes on basically the same practice, it's really, interesting to see the roots of printmaking, whether it be, intaglio or like letterpress that is at one point was no longer used, is becoming revived again. The same thing with lithography as well. It's not for function anymore, but it's for a fine art and craft that's appreciated almost more because of we understand its history and where it came from. And that was so close to dying now, and now we're kind of in the process of reviving it. So it's nice to be working in a practice, and same thing with the Appalachian crafts is it has such a history. And at one point people were practicing this as a means of necessity, but now, the dialogue has changed slightly, and we're kind of circling back around and seeing it revived for its appreciation of what it once was, what it could be, and what it might be in the future. All and any artists who consider themselves rooted in the traditional or modern sense of Central Appalachian craft. For example, for the spring, we're employing artists anywhere who practice anything from pottery, so clay works, to wood turning, woodworking, basketry, quilting, needlework and embroidery, sculpture, some two-dimensional collage work based off of the environment. So we have quite the array of practitioners that we're looking for. Probably because I have a lot of experience with this myself, but just seeing the interaction between artist and student is always surprising and very enriching. So I think just seeing students learn a new skill that they otherwise don't have any familiarity with or kind of intimidated by, once you see them get their hands on it and really learn and then walk away with a project in hand to take home is always the best thing to see over and over again. So that is a big part of what we're doing here with ArtReach, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing that.